The EPA will resume moving the contaminated waste from East Palestine, Ohio, the site of the train derailment earlier this month. Despite growing environmental concerns, the removal was briefly paused over the weekend. On Saturday, the regional administrator for the EPA requested Norfolk Southern to pause until federal officials could address concerns from other states, such as Michigan and Texas, where the waste was being shipped to disposal facilities. Meanwhile, at least one House committee is investigating the Biden administration's response, and more may be on the way. Jay.
Congressional correspondent Stephanie Liebergen is tracking all the activity regarding the train derailment on Capitol Hill. Good morning, Stephanie.
Hey guys, good morning. Well, the new investigation is from the House Oversight Committee, as said they're looking into how President Biden's team responded to the train derailment in Ohio. They sent a letter to Secretary Buttigieg, head of the Transportation Department, claiming that he ignored the derailment for more than a week. Of course, the Biden administration and the secretary pushing back against that assertion from Republicans. Now, in this letter to Secretary Buttigieg, the committee says they want a number of documents and communication related to the derailment, including when Secretary Buttigieg was notified and any initial guidance he might have been given about how to talk about the incident publicly. They also want to know if the Biden administration made any changes to train maintenance or train procedure while President Biden has been in office. The secretary responded on Twitter saying that his department will review the request and respond accordingly, but noted that the letter also requested information about the NTSB, the investigating agency. Buttigieg saying that that is separate, an independent agency separate from the Department of Transportation, and so not underneath his purview. Now, late last week, we also got the president standing up for his administration and being confident in the way that his administration responded to this train derailment. Take a listen.
I had a long meeting with my team and what they're doing. You know, we were there 2 hours after the train went down. 2 hours. I've spoken with every single major figure in both Pennsylvania and in Ohio. And so the idea that we're not engaged is just simply not there.
Now, the White House continuing to push back against Republican complaints about its response to this train derailment, putting out a timeline early this morning of exactly when and how the Biden administration responded, what agency was there, what phone calls were made, really detailed timeline. And it does include that 2-hour response time from officials from the EPA and the Department of Transportation being on scene in Ohio at 1 o'clock in the morning after the train derailed late at night. But this House Oversight Committee looking into the Biden administration response going to be one of likely many committee investigations and hearings we're going to get related to this train derailment. We already know the Senate Environment and Public Works Committee has already starting to look into and promised a hearing on the environmental and public health impacts of this derailment and the hazardous material that the train was carrying that then needed to be dealt with. We also know the Senate Commerce, Science, and Transportation Committee has already sent some letters out to the railroad companies about how they handle hazardous material. And then back on the House side, the House Energy and Commerce Committee already sent a letter to the EPA wanting to know more about their response. And then the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, I think it's a safe bet we can probably expect them to do some investigation and have some hearings, as well as they're the ones with oversight over the railroads and over the National Transportation Safety Board. So I think there's going to be a lot of committees and a lot of investigation looking into what happened leading up to this train derailment and then how the administration and the government responded.
Congressional correspondent Stephanie Liebergen reporting for us. Thank you.